you. We gather together here this evening to officially dedicate the Sutherland Plaza, the newest space, albeit an open-aired one, on the campus of Penn State Abington. In doing so, we pause to reflect on the historic antecedents that make this new space so instantly successful. Take a look around. You can see Sutherland Hall. A powerful but not overpowering building, a fine terrace with easy steps and a view of the surrounding grounds. Just the same sense of place the setting was originally designed to convey. This new space then allows us to rediscover a historic space. Sutherland Hall was designed by Horace Trumbauer, whose name may be familiar to some of you, but whose work is probably far more recognizable. He designed the central branch of the Free Library of Philadelphia on Logan Square, the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the Widener Library at Harvard University, the Racquet Club in Philadelphia, as well as the Union League's 15th Street building, the Benjamin Franklin Hotel, and locally the Keswick Theater and the Jenkintown train station. Trumbauer brought the best skills and talents in his firm to bear on his commissions, and this building for the Ogon School for Young Ladies is no exception. The Ogon School for Young Ladies. Ah, the Ogon School. What a different world it was. The Ogon School was an elite finishing school for well-to-do young ladies. It began in 1850 as the Chestnut Street Female Seminary, located downtown in the 1500 block of Chestnut Street. The school relocated in 1883 to Civil War financier J. Cook's estate, Ogon's. The school changed its name to reflect its new home. Its removal to the Cheltenham Hills was a wise one, for where better to be than in the midst of what would become within a generation the richest square mile in America. And there was no paucity of rich young ladies nearby, despite the fact that the school enjoyed a national reputation and draw. The Wideners lived across the street, and they move our story forward. Following the marriage of Eleanor Widener to Fitz Eugene Dixon in 1912, the Wideners were on the lookout for additional land in the neighborhood. In 1915, the family purchased the Ogon's estate from then school principal and owner, Abby Sutherland. Her land thus sold, Sutherland needed a new home, and so she settled on this ground, owned by Walter Herring, who lived across the street in that great Tudor Revival mansion that can still sometimes be glimpsed between the trees. Sutherland hired Trumbauer to design the school's main building, aptly named the Main Building. One suspects that Old Main was a more familiar term for it. Trumbauer was a logical choice for Sutherland. He specialized in grand homes for the well-to-do, and he had designed many of the large homes in the neighborhood around Ogon's. While Trumbauer was a logical choice for Sutherland, it is bemusing here in the midst of the academic world to note that Trumbauer was everything that such a world eschews. His path to success is not one that is generally advised. Trumbauer dropped out of school at the age of 14, thus never having graduated from high school nor college. Unlike many architects of the day, he did not attend the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris. Also, coming from a family of very modest means, he did not have any useful family connections, then so important for securing architectural commissions. Yet for all his apparent shortcomings, Trumbauer was immensely talented and deeply driven. He absorbed every last detail in his surroundings as a teenage office boy in the Hewitt Brothers architectural firm, and he immersed himself in a rigorous program of self-education. He never stopped reading, studying, or learning. No, it doesn't stop after 4 years, folks. The result was, at the age of 21, he founded his own firm. By age 31, in 1900, he had already designed gray towers, that behemoth on the Arcadia University campus, Shelton House for the Elkinses, Linwood Hall on Ashburn Avenue for the Wideners, Elstow also for the Elkins family, now part of the Elkins estate, the Elms in Newport, Rhode Island for the Berwyn family, and many other highly regarded buildings. By 1916, his firm employed nearly 30 people, many of them architects and draftsmen. He is considered the greatest classical revivalist architect in the nation, who designed some of the finest and most elegant homes on the East Coast. His sense of proportion was exemplary, and his large structures never appeared overscale or ponderous. He employed simple decorative elements and kept his lines clean. Exhibit A is right here. For Abby Sutherland, who wished to have the main building of her school have the feel of a home estate, Trumbauer indeed succeeded. His Georgian Revival-style building proved a fitting centerpiece for the Ogons campus. He would later design Lairs, the home of Abby Sutherland, now the front portion here of Lairs Hall, and the Rydal Country Day School, now your Conference Center building. The original setting of the Sutherland building is best seen in your program. It's the top picture. Thankfully, the picture will save me 1,000 words. Nay, it will save you from hearing me give another 1,000 words. Suffice it to say that originally the drive came in straight off of Woodland Road to the area where we are now gathered. The approach was simple and the impression was great. We can only imagine the chauffeur-driven cars dropping off all the young charges to Miss Sutherland here in school. Over the years, as Dr. Capoletti has pointed out, the young trees have grown up and the automobile and pedestrian ways have been redirected. The great success visually of this plaza's design is to reintroduce the impact of this wonderful building and to rediscover the sense of awe and grace this setting was meant to convey. The plaza, as Brian has pointed out, also creates a sense of place, an outdoor room where the coming together of people, either in passing or to sit and reflect, is encouraged. With the physicality of people coming together, so then does this space by design encourage the sharing of ideas, a notion at the heart of any institution of higher learning. 60 years ago, when Abby Sutherland made the decision to close her beloved Ogon School for Girls, she gave the entirety of this campus to Penn State. Her charge then is still appropriate now. Care for this place. Love it. Guard here the spirit of the best in your dreams of education. These buildings, these grounds are your heritage. Love them and care for them jealously as your school home and alma mater. It is my hope for you and this community that this newly dedicated Sutherland Plaza, classroom, commons, gathering place, reflecting spot, continues to honor the inherited legacy of this campus, and that this space becomes an integral place for the continued growth and vitality of this great university. I know it will, because we are.
Penn State!
Thank you.